So just recently, I realized that I have been doing photography for 8 years. Crazy. Time really does fly and it waits for nobody. And I have learned so much in these years. I have gained so much. I'm just so grateful for what it has taught me, the power behind photography, that it's more than just photos. And I think that this gift or talent that I've been able to be blessed with having has truly did more for me inside than it did for even others, because it showed me how to persevere, how to be creative, how to set a bar for yourself and go for it. And so I'm really grateful for this experience and just looking forward to what is to come. And so in that reflection, I had asked my Instagram peeps if they would send me some questions. And also I asked you guys on here on YouTube if you would send me some questions. So I got a few here that I want to answer because these are really good. And yeah, let's get into it. So let's get into the first question. What has been the most rewarding part of your photography journey? Man, where do I start? I think the most rewarding is how many amazing people I have met and been able to grow relationships with, even outside of the photo shoot. One thing that I noticed as a photographer is that this job is one that is people-centered. And so for me, it really hasn't been hard to connect because I am a people person. And so I get so much joy out of every session where I get an inquiry saying that I heard about you on Instagram, girl, and I heard about you from my friend, and I don't even know them, and we meet each other and we connect and they feel great on their shoot. That is the most rewarding. Also, is just getting the feedback from people that feel like they had an amazing shoot, that feel like they were comfortable, that feel like the atmosphere was right, all because I was able to curate that. And that is the biggest thing. The compliments that I get, the emails that I get is my reward. You know what I mean? I'm just so grateful for that. So I would say meeting the people and being able to see how they come alive on the camera and their compliments is definitely the most rewarding. All right, number 2, what is the key for staying consistent in it? I would honestly say you gotta love it. We hear this all the time from your most famous gurus and people that are on here sharing their knowledge. You really have to love it, and you really have to know why you're in it. You can only be consistent in something that you believe in. And so photography for me is connected to purpose for me. I feel like a part of my purpose is to see all things well, to see people well, and to extract the good out of people, places, and things. And so photography helps me to capture people and make them feel upgraded, make them feel alive, make them feel like they've never felt before. Like, oh my God, I have a photo, a professional one taken, and I feel beautiful, or I feel handsome. So yeah, that is the reason why I stay consistent in it, and that is loving it and making sure that your why is strong. All right, next question. Have you ever had moments where you wanted to give up with it? Ooh-wee. Yes and no. How can I say this? So there was a moment, I would say 2 years ago. So about 2 years ago, maybe 1.5 actually, where I was more so in a crossroad, where I was kind of just like, I feel like there's more in me, and is photography the only thing that I'm supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to stop it right now? Do I feel like God is calling me somewhere else? And that was more so the moments where I was just like, not so much giving up, but like pivoting, if that makes sense. And so even in that question, art and painting came back into my life, but photography and the passion for it was even more brighter as well. So yeah, I definitely had a moment where I was like, okay, let me regroup. What am I doing? Is this who I am? Like, am I making this my identity? No, we're not doing that. And so I wouldn't say I wanted to give up completely. It was just that in between place of me just trying to think about the next move. How did you develop your signature style? Oh my goodness, through trial and error, okay? I was really intrigued by brightness, by color, and so that's why I would say my style is like an elevated simple, where I really play on the contrast, on the colors, and on the highlights and the tones. So for me, I want to keep the photo looking as natural as possible, and so in that, editing is really crucial. So those different tools that I use in Lightroom is how I keep that cool natural essence of the person, because my favorite thing to shoot are portraits, because those are so timeless and very just lasting, and everybody needs a good portrait. And so I love that having color and contrast in that tone is going to help it to say, oh, that's Ashley Mia's work, because it gives that beautiful kind of just simplistic essence of who the person is. And so I would say I really got into the groove of my style probably 3 years into it, because I was doing so many different things, especially when I started off. Because in the beginning I was doing like that faded look, you know, the one where if you were on Tumblr, like it was very like vintage feel, VSCO, if that's how you say it, or VSCO. That style I was really heavy on, but then I had to really look at my work and be like, okay, do you just want this as an Instagram or social media looking filtered photo, or do you really want this to be something that is more classy? So yeah, I would say that's how I developed my signature style. I just did a lot of different editing types, and I really sat down and figured out what did I want to represent, how did I want my photos to look, and what did I want people to point and say, hey, that is her photo, that's her style. And that's what I came up with. All right, next question. Who's your dream client or brand to work with? All right, so I have a vision board and I have a few people, brands up there. I would say my dream brand right now to work with is Fenty Beauty. I love me some Riri, and I love what they have been doing. And so if anybody from the team is watching this, go ahead and call your girl, because I'll definitely be there. I love what they've built over there, and I just love beauty photography in general because it's so up close and personal. It's like an extreme close-up portrait, you know, especially when you're doing skincare things and foundation and makeup. And so that is definitely my dream brand. So it's Fenty, but it's also Ulta, and Fenty has their stuff at Ulta. But yeah, it's those two for sure. Okay, another brand, one more. I would say Target. I love Target so much, y'all. I'm there every week in the drive up. I'm telling you, I stay there. I stay there. So Target, just in their like Wild Fable, Merona, A New Day clothing brand. Oh, I love it. Had you ever gotten to a point where photography felt more like a chore than a passion? If so, how did you get back to a passionate place with it? Ooh. So yes, absolutely. I have definitely gotten to a place where photography was more so of a chore and I was burning out. I would say that was about 3 years ago, and I had to regroup and be like, Ashley, these projects that you're taking, yes, they're cool for money. Yes, amazing, great. But they're stressing you out, either the client or the brand, and it's not making you feel fulfilled, and you don't really feel like you're getting your creative touch out because it's so micromanaged. And that's just a few of them. But I would say yes, it was definitely feeling like a chore. And then that's when I was like, okay, I have got to do something for me. And that's when I started doing passion projects. So in the pandemic, I did Overdressed with Nowhere to Go, which was a series I did with my friends in my apartment. And I got a backdrop and we dressed up and did some beautiful portraits. And then another series I did was called the Blossom series. And that's where I gathered 8 beautiful Black women that I knew or that asked to be within it, and we had this beautiful pink background with some flowers that were provided from my girl Taylor from Dust Lily Floral, and it was beautiful. So it ignited me back again with the love of it, because I was drowning in these projects that I feel like were just quick money grabs, honestly, but they weren't fulfilling me creatively. All right, and the last question is, how do you get consistent clients, and can you show me some pointers? Yes. So on this channel, actually, I did a video that I'm gonna link above that you can look at on how to get your first clients, and I think it goes in depth on there. But for right now, I'm just gonna share with you a few tips. The number one thing that I would say is to start doing some free shoots. Now, don't get in the habit of doing them, but call up your sister, call up your brother, call up your friends, call up your mom, call up your auntie, call up your uncle, your cousins, somebody you know, and get shooting. It's going to really work that muscle, and you're gonna really feel like you're getting acquainted with your camera, which is another good thing that you need to do, because repetition is going to create that mastery. And so let them be your first clients. They know you, they're the first to know that you're doing it. And so ask them. And then I would say post on social media so people can begin to relate you to photography. Maybe it's photos with you and your camera, or an actual shoot that you did with your family or your friends or your co-workers even. And people will begin to maybe DM you. And then also I would say get a website or get an email where people can inquire to you, because you need a way of communication, and you don't want to do it all through your phone. And that's a whole nother thing that I've learned through the mistakes. I also have a video there. You don't want to do that, because you want to keep your direct communication private and have a third party to where you don't feel like you're having to answer all day. And so get out there, get shooting, and make sure that people know that you're doing it. And when you are doing those free shoots, because I believe sometimes you need to, because it could lead you to an amazing opportunity, which it has done for me, don't get in a habit. And what I mean is do a few, and then after that, send them an email and be like, hey, here are my actual rates if you want to do it another time, or here's a discount for your next photo shoot with me. So yeah, I would definitely say that's how you can get your first clients. But thank you guys for asking those amazing questions. I really enjoyed myself as I was answering them, and I'm just looking forward to the future. You know, I'm thankful that I've been able to be blessed enough to do this for this long, and I'm looking forward to how long it will continue. And then in 15 years, I'll make another video and share how far I've come from this point, you know? It's all about the journey. It's all about the process. There have been days when I've wanted to do it, and then there have been days when I did not want to do it. But I think that is a part of the creative process. But just remembering your why. Why are you in this? For me, it's my family, and it's purpose driven. And I really feel like there is meaning to photography, that it captures history, that it gives you a time capsule. It gives you your own archive for you to share with your kids and your grandkids, you know? And I love what it can do for businesses, for marketing. It's so powerful, and that's one of the reasons that keeps me in it, and I'm thankful. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and subscribe. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, just go ahead and do it, because I can't wait to give you the next video and share some more of my knowledge on photography, art, lifestyle, and all the things that, you know, compile to Ashley. But thank you once again. If you're watching this in the week, have a good week. And if you're watching this on the weekend, have a good weekend. And I'll see y'all soon.